Yo, what's up you guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm about to be working on this bike. This is a 2005 Suzuki GSXR 600. Picked up a few parts for it, so yeah, let's get to it. So as you can see, the bike was dropped, so it does need all new fairings. So I picked up all the fairings except the tank. I did see that they have a tank cover, but I don't want to get a tank cover because it's plastic. So I fixed this dent that I had right here with Bondo, and I'm gonna just finish sanding it, and I'm gonna prime it and get it ready for paint. So I also picked up a stator and a rectifier for the bike because when I bought it, it didn't want to stay on unless you had to connect it straight to the jumper cables. So yeah, I'm gonna change the rectifier and the stator. Hopefully it fixes the issue, because right now I got the battery charged up and it starts, but it's pretty much just running off the battery, so it's draining it. The battery might be dead now actually, because it has been sitting for a few weeks now. So I'm gonna try to start it and see if it's still charged up. All right, I just connected the battery. Let me see if it starts. Yeah, it's running good, but as soon as I disconnect the battery, it dies. All right, I'm gonna start by draining the oil and then take off the stator. But first I gotta go get more oil because I used 2 quarts on the dirt bikes.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
All right, so I just picked up 2 more quarts because the engine does take 3.8. So before I start taking off these 8mm bolts off the stator cover, I'm gonna drain the oil because oil is gonna come out of here. So I'm gonna do that first. So the drain plug is 13mm, but I just noticed that they put gasket sealer instead of the gasket. So hopefully the drain pull is still good and the threads aren't bad. So I just have to buy the gasket. So I got it off, and I guess they just didn't use a gasket. That's why they put that sealer. But these bolts have a magnet on the top, so if they have a little bit of little pieces of metal, it's normal. But if they have a lot, then that's bad. So a little bit is fine, like this. I mean, you can't see a lot, but there's just a little bit right here. But yeah, that's fine. But if there's a lot, you need to get it checked. All right, so I'm letting the oil drain completely because I don't know what was in it before, and I did find a little gasket for this, so it won't leak anymore. So now I'm gonna just take off the oil filter. And the oil filter, I got a K&N because it's always easier to take off. You can just grab a wrench right here. All right, so now that I got that tightened up, I'm gonna just take off these stator cover bolts and disconnect the stator. So it looks like they put like a sealer or something because it doesn't want to come off. So I'm gonna try to pry it with a screwdriver. All right, so it has to come out even because it has 2 little sleeves, and I did disconnect it first because it was just getting stuck, so I already got it off. So I'm changing the stator and the rectifier as well because I did some research and I saw that if the stator goes bad, the rectifier also goes bad, and if the rectifier goes bad, the stator goes bad, because the rectifier just regulates the voltage. So if it sends too high of a voltage to the stator, it'll just burn off the coils. So it goes both ways, so that's why I'm changing both of them. So I just took off these 3 bolts and the one for the bracket, but I just noticed that these stators, they look the same, but this one has just 2 holes on this side and this one has the holes on each side. So I don't know if it makes a difference which way I put it, so I'm gonna just try to put it the same. All right, so I got the stator cover bolts tightened. Now I just need to plug this in and I can start with the rectifier. All right, so the rectifier on this bike is right here. So I got to take out this tailpiece, which I got to do anyway. So to take it off, there's 3 little clips on each side. So it's 6 clips and then 2 Phillips screws. So as soon as I took off the cover, I noticed that the rectifier connector is all burnt up. You can see it got heated up down here and everything. Like it won't even come off because it's welded together. These wires aren't even in there or anything. They're just, I don't know what happened, but I'm gonna have to fix all this before I change the rectifier. All right, so I went ahead and got a new connector. It came with these little pins, so I went ahead and just cut these wires and then repinned it instead of soldering them. The old rectifier looks a little bit different. It has way more wires, but I mean, I'm pretty sure it's the same. This is just like a more modern one. All right, now that I got the rectifier done, I'm gonna go ahead and take off the tank and get it ready for paint. All right, so to take off the tank, I think it's just this bolt down here, these 2, and then there should be like a couple fuel lines, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that off. All right, now that I got the tank done, I'm gonna go ahead and box the rest of the fairings and get them ready for paint. condition, so I didn't really need it, but I'll still slap it on. So I got them painted fairings because I had to paint the tank anyway. So I ordered these thinking they were gonna come in like matte white, but they came in like glossy white. And honestly, like I could have slapped these on and the bike would look really good. Just that I want the tank to match this, so I'm just painting everything either way. All right, so I set up a little booth in the corner of my garage because I didn't want overspray going anywhere else. So I got everything hung up now. I got everything ready. I'm gonna just hit it with some grease and wax remover, and then I'm gonna start painting. Alright, so I let everything dry out for 24 hours because I didn't want the paint peeling on me. And that honestly came out looking really good. Everything came out looking better than I was expecting. So yeah, I'm about to start slapping everything on the bike and see what it looks like. Alright, so the bike is pretty much finished. I'm just waiting for the rear system to come in because the peg and the rear brake lever are damaged. So yeah, I'm still waiting for those to come in. So yeah, the bike is pretty much done for the most part. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.